Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build an AI automation that automatically scores the quality of new leads, updates those leads in a Google Sheet, and then sends you a Slack notification. So here's the use case here. Let's say we're running a group coaching program, and this comes from a real life example that I'll explain in a second. So we're collecting information for people who want to join our program, their name, their email, and in this case, it's a YouTube coaching program, so their YouTube channel. So the folks will submit their application in a form, and then that's going to lead us through our Lindy automation that's going to intake that information. It's going to do an analysis with AI on their YouTube channel to see if they're actually qualified. It's going to update their information in a Google Sheet, including their channel, their subscribers, the topic of their channel, the average number of views they get for per video, how often they post, and whether they are actually qualified for our group coaching program determined by our AI prompts. And then after the AI has updated our spreadsheet, it's going to send us a new notification in Slack to let us know that we have new applications for our program and whether the candidate is qualified or not. So let's break down this automation and then we can build it together step by step. So I'm using Lindy for this automation here. And again, it's going to trigger on a new form submission. So the creator who was doing this, April Lynn, was using a Google form, but I am going to use a Typeform submission. So again, someone's going to fill out our form and that's going to trigger our automation. Then we are going to use Google search to extract the YouTube channel URL. Then we're going to use an AI agent step. And what this agent is going to do, it's going to go to the YouTube channel of the person who submitted the form, and it's going to come back with several pieces of information that we want to pull out, like the subscribers, the channel topic, the video views, and their frequency, again, to see if they're qualified or not. Then we're going to use a different AI agent to take the information about their subscriber count and determine whether they are qualified or not in our scenario to actually apply to our group coaching program. And then with all of the information from the Typeform and from these two AI agents, it's going to fill in our spreadsheet here so we can keep track of all the applicants, so we can filter on who is actually qualified or not. And then lastly, again, it's going to send us a notification inside of Slack to let us know we've got new applications and whether they're qualified or not. So just a little real life context here, real life use case here. April Lynn, who is literally one of my favorite YouTubers, I borrowed heavily on her thumbnail designs, as you can see, and I'm on her email list, and she's fantastic. She does YouTube videos about YouTube, and I got an email from her actually today that she is opening up a group coaching program. Okay. And when you click the link kind of at the bottom here, she has this giant form. So this is where I got the idea, right? And she wants to see basically if people are qualified to join her program. And she's asking a bunch of questions, email, name, channel link, and then all of these other questions here, right? So this is a very in-depth application. What's the channel about? How often do they upload? Yada, yada, yada. And so I thought, how can we automate this process if I were in April Lynn's shoes? So first I thought we could probably shorten this form and we could use AI automations to scrape some of this data, right? So we could scrape this data here. We could scrape how often they upload. We could scrape what the channel is about, and so on and so forth. And then using, my own made up qualification, this is entirely made up. I don't think she has a subscriber score. What we're going to do is we're going to come up with a subscriber score on whether they're qualified or not based on how many subscribers they have to their channel. Okay. So once someone submits our form, it's going to kick off the automation, and then we're going to go through all of these steps. And again, we're going to get everything tallied up in Google Sheets for us, and we're going to get a message inside of Slack. So let's do a demo quick, and then we can build this out step by step. So let's take the man who has the best cooking channel on all of YouTube, Sam the Cooking Guy. He's clearly qualified for our coaching program, and we'll use him as an example. So let's fill out our quick form here. I'm going to say Sam. I don't know Sam's last name. I'm going to say the cooking guy. Email, we're going to do, I don't want to email Sam. So, or we're not, emailing anyone, but I'll put in my email here. Now, for the YouTube channel, right, most folks will share the channel with this slug, and what we're going to do in one of our steps is we're going to try to get our agent to actually find the video slug, the video URL, because this is going to show all of the latest videos with all of the stats. And we'll see if that step actually works. But, I think most YouTube folks will just share this URL, which is the homepage of their YouTube channel. All right, so we'll put that in that step and we will submit and we will go back to Lindy. Is this on? It is on. All right, let's go into tasks and see if this kicks off a new flow. So we can see it's kicking off a new flow here almost instantaneously. So we have our submission here and we are going to go to Google search to find the video. So you can see what I want to pull out is that video link. And hopefully it is going to be able to do that. And now what we're doing is our AI agent is going to analyze that page with a website crawler or a scraper. And it's going to give us a bit of an analysis here, right? So he's got 3.8 million subscribers, cooking channel, 100,000 to 500,000 views per video, 2 to 3 times per week. So it's doing the analysis. It's saying that it has uploaded it to our Google Sheet. So let's go in there and you can see it automatically fills in all of these rows for us. So that's the email I submitted. There's Sam's first name, his last name, his channel, subscribers. This is the qualification column. So obviously he's qualified because my threshold I think was over 50,000. We'll double check that. Channel topic, cooking and recipes, views per video. 100 to 500,000, which is generally correct, right? He's got, that's a good estimate here. 100,000, 200,000, 100,000, 200,000. And he's got some videos that have much more than that. So pretty accurate there. And then he posts about 2 to 3 times per week. 3 days ago, 5 days ago, 7 days ago. All right. So pretty accurate analysis there. Everything was filled in inside the spreadsheet. And now when I go into my Slack, I can see that my Lindy agent has told me new group coaching application received. And it's going to give me a nice summary of the lead. So there's Sam, cooking and recipes, 3.7 million subscribers, and he is highly qualified. And it's told me it's updated the Google spreadsheet, and it's even providing a bit of an analysis that the channel has very strong metrics. So all of that kicked off simply with a Typeform asking for name, email, and channel URL. And it was able to really fill in and do a little bit of lead research for us automatically. All right, so let's build this out step by step in Lindy. If you're not familiar with Lindy, in my opinion, it is the best AI agent builder on the platform and one of the best AI automation platforms as well. So I'm in my homepage. I'm going to do a new Lindy and we're going to start from scratch. So you have to think, how does this automation start, this AI automation? It starts with a trigger, right? And so in our example, in April Lynn's example, it started with a form. So we're going to go to triggers, and there's actually several different form integrations you can do in Lindy. We are going to use a Typeform. So let me search for Typeform. And then I am going to do new submission. And what you want to do here is choose your connection. You have to sync your Typeform account with Lindy. I've got a few accounts here because Typeform is a little stingy with the free submissions. So select your account, and then you are going to select the form that you create. Now, if you've never used Typeform, it's very simple to set up a form. I'm not going to walk you through how to set up a form in Typeform, but it's incredibly easy. So you can see this is my form over here. And I'll just show you, the fields that I have. Again, it's very intuitive to set up by yourself. So I've got a first name field, a last name, an email, and a YouTube channel URL. All right. So this is our input. This is the trigger. All of these fields are required. And so when someone lands on our coaching form, they fill out all of this info, and that's going to start this automation inside of Lindy. All right. So for this next step, what I want to do is find the YouTube channel video URL. I might not have explained this perfectly earlier on, but when we're taking applications for our form, we're going to ask for the YouTube channel. And again, when people are going to submit their channel URL, it's most likely going to be this URL. But this doesn't really give the AI, the web scraper, the best picture, the best view of how the channel is doing, right? Because when you look at the homepage of a YouTube channel, it doesn't show the most recent videos, right? It's giving us a for you, and then there's a bunch of different playlists here, right? It's not a clean snapshot of how the channel is performing. What we really want is this video tab here, right? Because this is going to give us the latest videos, and it's a clean shot of the topics, the views, and how long ago that they uploaded the video. So this is the URL we really want. And so I'm going to add another step here in order to find this URL with the videos attached. Now, to do that, I am going to do a perform action, and I'm going to do a Google search, and then just this Google search action right here. So the model I'm going to leave as 3.5 Sonnet, and then I have a prompt here on my clipboard. And what I'm basically prompting Google search through the AI is to go find the video link, right? So search Google and find the user's YouTube channel videos link. And I'm going to give it an example output here, right? So this is a URL that has videos appended to the end. And I'm telling it, note the videos part of the URL appended at the end. So we really do want that video URL in order for the web scraper to scrape the correct URL in the next step. So query, I'm going to leave as auto. So the AI will determine the actual query to put into Google search. Max results, it's not really a big deal. I'm going to put this at 5. We don't need it to search 10 results. It really should come up as the first result. Location we'll leave on auto. And now that we have this step, we can actually rename this. So let's call this group coaching YouTube. Let's turn this on. And now we're ready to move on to the next step. All right. So the next step is we want an AI agent to do the analysis. So this truly is an agent step here. We are going to add a new step. And then down here, I am going to enter an AI agent. Okay. And now the prompt here is very important. I'm going to put this on my clipboard, and I'm going to say, go to the user's YouTube channel videos URL identified in the previous step and tell me how many subscribers they have, what their channel is about, roughly how many views per video they get, and roughly how often they are uploading. Again, the AI is going to generate that information, right? All of this information over here. We're only asking the user for their name, email, and their YouTube channel, right? In April Lynn's actual example, she was asking for all of this information from the user, and we're going to streamline this. So the user provides this, and the AI and Lindy are going to get this. So that's what we're prompting the AI agent to do, but how does it actually do that, right? So we need to give this agent a skill, meaning a web scraping skill to go out and actually scrape the YouTube channel. So I'm going to hit the plus button here. And is it in one of the ones at the top? It is. So I'm going to scroll down here to web browser, and then I am going to select website content crawler. All right. So it crawls websites and extracts text to feed AI models, which is exactly what we want. All right. So now this agent has access to the internet, and it can scrape the YouTube channel page and help identify all that information. I'm going to leave the model on Claude, and we are looking good with this step. All right. Now I want to score the applicants or score the leads, right? Because not everyone who applies to our program, maybe they're not qualified, or maybe they're not ready, right? So if a channel only has, hey, nothing wrong with a couple hundred subscribers, maybe they're not qualified for our group coaching. So we're going to add a step here that's going to qualify the leads based on the number of subscribers, and we're going to call that a subscriber score. So we're going to have another agent come in here and do this step for us. So I'm going to add a step, I'm going to enter another agent. And then for this prompt, what I'm going to say is you are a YouTube channel analyzer. Based on the subscriber count of the channel in the previous step, please assign a subscriber score to the channel. And I'm saying, this is obviously just a made up example. Less than 10,000 subscribers equals low. Between 10,000 and 50,000 subscribers equals medium. And more than 50,000 subscribers equals high. Please output only the subscriber score. Example, medium score, right? So this is my prompt for the AI. It's going to take the analysis from the previous step and assign this score to the leads. And it's also, and we're going to do it in the next step, is update our Google Sheet with that information. Now, before I forget, every time you have an AI agent step in Lindy, you need to define an exit condition, right? If I tried to save this, I'd probably get an error because I don't have an exit condition. I don't know if this is unique to Lindy, but it's basically telling you when should Lindy exit this AI agent, right? When is this agent done with its step so it can move on? And I'm just going to say exit once you have analyzed the YouTube channel. And now when I hit save, that's good. We're going to have to do that again with this agent step, but we'll do this in just a second. But you need to add an exit condition after every AI agent step in Lindy. So again, I'm telling this agent to stop working once you've analyzed the channel. So at this point, we have all of the information we need to fill in our Google Sheet, right? We have the form submission, which has the name, the email, and the channel. And we have our AI agent steps here, which is going to analyze the channel. So now we need to feed this into Google Sheet. And this truly is, in my opinion, a very underappreciated part of Lindy. And I'll explain this in a second. So I'm going to add a new step. We are going to perform an action, and we could go to Google Sheets here, and I'm going to append a row. Okay. So, this is a running list of applicants. So every time we get a new lead, we want to append a new row. Now you can see it's pinging me here to define an exit condition for this AI agent right over here, like we did in the previous agent. So when can the AI agent in this step finish? So I'm going to say you can exit after you have passed on the channel grade to the next step, right? This grade right here, or the subscriber score, maybe I should say, to be more specific. Okay, so that's the exit condition for that agent. It's throwing me an error because I haven't filled in my information for the Google Sheets yet. So let's do that. So for the append row, obviously you need to connect your Google account to Lindy. And then once you've done that, you can choose your spreadsheet, you can choose your sheet, and I'll do the prompt first. Let me just grab the prompt on my clipboard over here. So I'm going to prompt the spreadsheet. AI is baked into, I think, every single step, every single action in Lindy, right? This is a simple update spreadsheet step, but it has AI baked into it, right? So I can prompt the spreadsheet, right? Please fill in the applicable rows with the information from the previous steps. And what I mean with this is here we can see all of the row values or the column headers, right? So it's pulling in the information from my spreadsheet over here, right? But the way that Lindy has this configured, I don't even know how they do it, is that AI will automatically try to figure out exactly what information should be mapped to each row, or each column rather, right? So think about it like this. If you were doing this in Zapier, or you were doing this in make.com, and probably even N8N as well, you would have to map each output, right? So for example, you would have to map the output from the form, meaning first name. You would have to map that to the first name column here in the spreadsheet step. Manually, every single one. You would have to do the last name. You would have to do the email. You would have to take the output from the AI agent and drag it into N8N or pick it from the list in make.com. In Lindy, it does it for you. It's really, really incredible. And again, I think an underappreciated feature that they don't talk about enough is this auto filling. It's going to fill in, or again, it's going to try to fill in or try to guess which bit of information goes to which column. So that's a long-winded way of saying that I'm going to leave all of this as is. You can see it says it's on auto, which means the AI is going to fill out the fields using the context of the previous steps. Now, you could set this manually if you wanted to, or you could prompt the AI so you could give it a little context. So I could do prompt AI and say, use the email address from the Typeform step, right? And that would probably get you better results, but let's leave this on auto and see what happens. It worked well at the top of the video, but we'll leave all of this on auto. So for this last step, again, we want to get notified inside of Slack. So we get a nice message like this. So anytime we get a new lead or a new applicant, we're going to get notified inside of Slack so we can review the application and take our next step. So let's set that up inside of Lindy over here. So under append row, I am going to add a step. I'm going to perform an action, and Slack is probably one of the top ones. Here it is. So Slack, and we are going to send a channel message. So let me select that. Obviously, you need to connect your Slack account to Lindy. Choose your account. For the model, we're going to leave this on Sonnet, and we are going to give it a pretty good prompt here. So what should the message say? What information should it contain? If you left it blank, it would probably still tell you what you needed to know, but let's use a good prompt here. So send a message to the channel letting the user know that they received a new application for their group coaching program. Summarize the new lead's information and let the user know they've updated the Google Sheet. Let the user know you've updated the Google Sheet. All right, so that's the prompt. I'm going to use all of these other settings. I'm going to leave as is. Let's save this. And in terms of the build, we are all set. So let's test this with a new YouTube channel. Okay, we are almost ready to test, but I did forget one setting inside of Slack, which is the channel name. We do want to specify that channel. We don't want AI to guess what Slack channel. That doesn't make any sense because it doesn't really know what we want. So for the channel, I'm going to change this to manual, and I have a Lindy demo channel that I'm going to send this into. So make sure you specify the Slack channel that you want. And with that, I think we are ready to test. So let's do a new channel. Another one of my favorite cooking channels, the best barbecue channel on YouTube, which is Meat Church. So I'm going to grab the homepage URL, and they're not in my spreadsheet yet. So let's have them. So let's fill out the form with their info. So this is Matt Pittman. Again, I'll just use my own email here, and the main channel URL, not the video URL, but the main channel is this. So let's just make sure that we are enabled here. So the Lindy is turned on. Let's hit submit. All right, let's hop back into Lindy, and then you want to click on tasks, and you can see the new tasks come in immediately. So we have a new submission here. So it's going to take that submission, and you can see now it already ran the Google search. And after the Google search pulls in the video URL, we are going to send it to our agent, which is using its website content crawler. And it's going to crawl the channel here and tell us, I don't know where it got 1.03 million subscribers. It's slightly off, pretty close, but slightly off. But it does have the channel focus. So barbecue and outdoor cooking content. He is the CEO of Meat Church, and he does talk about smoking and grilling. So that is correct. Views per video, 20,000 to 100,000. So let's just go to videos. Yep. Most of these look between 20 and 100 plus thousand views. So it got that correct. And then it says a posting schedule of 1 to 2 new videos per week, which is, roughly 1 to 2 a week, looking at the content there. So it mostly got that analysis correct. Now let's see if it appended the row in Google Sheets. So it did that. So it's got the email, the name, there's the channel, the subscribers. The subscriber score is a high score because it hit our threshold. It's got the channel topic correct and all these other fields that, again, is using AI to map these to Google Sheets without us having to do any manual mapping inside of Lindy. Finally, let's hop over into our Slack channel, and we can see it sent us that lead right inside of Slack. So we've got new application received, lead info, all of the info for him. And so it's telling us that it's a strong candidate. And again, it sent all of the information from the application directly to us inside of Slack. All right. So I hope this showed you how you can use AI. You can use automation to streamline any processes around applications or new leads, scoring those leads, storing them in Google Sheets, and notifying you inside of Slack. If you enjoyed this content, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see in the next video.